What's up YouTube? My name is Gemini and this is my build that I've been doing in the Bloodlines League. I have not died yet. This is my very first character. It's a Shadow Crit Trapper Prolifer with power charges. And just to show and talk about how I leveled this, I used a combination of Lightning Tendrils and Fire Trap. I went up this Elemental route, got Blood Siphon, started to work my way down to after Blood Siphon I got Soul Siphon, and by getting Soul Siphon I was not so reliant on mana potions, not up until like level 27 or level 28. So because I was killing so rapidly and my shots were so efficient, I was actually getting all my mana back as I was throwing it. So with the combination of Soul Siphon, you're getting lots and lots of returns. Kind of felt like leech, even though trappers don't really leech, but this tends to teeter off a bit, but it still scales with the max mana. After picking up Soul Siphon, I went to Coordination to get cast speed and dex to level up that Fire Trap. Then I went down to Blaze, Cold-Hearted Calculation. I went ahead and got Saboteur. I ignored this is where I'm working right now. Went along this long travel of int nodes, and then finally worked my way into Blast Radius to make my Fire Trap and my Lightning Tendrils bigger. So I got these three. After that, I went over towards this way to get Cruel Preparation because I was needing those resistances. I was doing all this self-found at the brand new start of the league. Once I got Cruel Preparation, that's when I started working down into Deep Wisdom and picked up the Heart and Soul cluster of both life and mana. After getting this last point over here, I worked my way down into Annihilation and then into Elemental Dominion. This helped both my Tendril. The cast speed doesn't affect traps, but the elemental damage with spells does, because Fire Trap is a spell. And then we have Firewalker. That gave me some more resistance. Then I started to proceed towards Templar. I got this node and I went up. I didn't get this yet. I got burning damage, ignite chance, and then I got holy fire because this helps the burning ground, and if you crit with a fire trap it helps the ignite, and this gives you ignite chance if you don't crit. Then I proceeded to move down towards Light of Divinity. I did not pick up this chaos resist HP wheel. Got Light of Divinity, went down, immediately got Elementalist to pick up more resistances because I was really struggling on that resist because my gear was really crappy. After picking up Elementalist, only natural to go to Devotion to get that strength that you need to wear certain pieces of gear and level up certain red gems. Moved up to Life. Then I went to the Illuminati wheel, picked up Celestial Punishment. After that, I went and got Celestial Judgment. So at this point, I am both Herald of Ice, or Herald of Thunder, and Clarity. And I have Freeze, Shock, and Ignite chance. Now I don't freeze anything. I do 0 cold damage, and I want to keep it that way because when I crit with cold, I don't want it to freeze because it won't prolift and ignite. So this giving me 5% chance to ignite and shock. And this giving me another 5, so that's 20. On top of that, we get 5% chance to ignite, so we have 15% chance to ignite, 10% chance to shock, and then we get another 5% chance to ignite. So already, pretty reliable chance to ignite. Then I started to work in Prolif once I picked up Celestial Punishment. After picking up this pie, I went up and picked up the Amplify node to increase the Fire Trap and the Proliferation, the rings. Picking up Amplify, I think I then proceeded to pick up this Chaos Resist wheel because I was really needing the life, but that's all gear dependent if you feel like you can skip it. Getting to Retribution, spell damage, helps the initial hit of Fire Trap. Doesn't double dip with Burn or Prolif, but it's still nice. Gives you strength, int, and cast speed for that tendril action. Then we go into Templar Life, Sanctity, By this time, I think I was running started to run AA, but I made another push for Eldritch Battery. At the time, I think I had around 380 energy shield, so then converted that to mana. So now I started to think about, okay, I'm going to start needing the mana and mana regen. So after picking up Sanctity, I believe I started, and Eldritch Battery, I worked my way into Quick Recovery Wheel, got life mana regen and life regen, and then I picked up Deep Thoughts. After Deep Thoughts, I went to this wheel right here. This is where I'm going. Written in Blood. And once I accomplish this, I'll start working my way into Infused Power Charge Duration, go down into Clever Construction, and then after Clever Construction I'll get High Explosives, which is 10% Elemental Penetration. And this is both lightning and fire. So I have 10% penetration here, I will have, and then I have 2% all here. So that's 12% for fire and lightning. Very, very, very potent. And I'm going to do this map, and you're going to get to see, as you can see, the only thing I really added was Discipline Aura. One of the benefits to running a Trapper is that you don't have to worry about reflection. Occasionally you will get Corrupted Blood stacks, and that's because Herald of Thunder will come down and hit the mob, but it's not too often, too fast. Herald of Thunder is actually linked with Assassin's Mark, Curse on Hit, and Decoy Tome. This probably end up being reduced mana once I don't need the links anymore, but it's just a red slot and it's a filler, and I use Decoy sometimes just to, you know, deter aggro away from me. My shield is linked with reduced mana. Discipline Aura, I just started running Discipline, so it's really low level, and then a Clarity level 17. The reason why I run Discipline is because I have Eldritch Battery. Eldritch Battery converts all my energy shield into mana, and now I'm able to achieve 3594 mana, max mana, which increases my regeneration. It's at 162 now. I want to make sure I keep my Arctic Armor pretty damn low, below that number. So it says 129 or 127.8 mana drain while moving. That's the number I'm concerned about. But when you pick up stuff like Inner Force or Devotion, 5% increase effective buffs on you, that's going to also increase the mana cost that it consumes your mana regen. So Inner Force and Devotion will both buff your Heralds and buff your Arctic Armor. Alright, so we're going to go in, and you'll notice, pay attention to whenever I kill a shocked mob, my Herald of Thunder starts beaming, and that'll apply Assassin's Mark, and then when I kill mobs with that, I get power charges. You can see right here. So I got a 24%, I got a pretty decent shot at gaining power charges, and this has been pretty smooth. We got an Exile. We took out the Exile, still have the Guardian, but pay attention to, you'll notice that there's cold bubbles, or I mean not cold bubbles, purple bubbles that are floating around, and that's because I'm prolifting both a shock stack and a burn, and that is what makes this. I'm scaling this build with shock stacks, burning damage, and crits, and then eventually crit multiplier. I'll give you more of an idea. See how everything in that room is just purple? That's on purpose. Alright. Purple is good. And I'm really struggling to find where this guy is getting animated from and where the last mob is. Let's go ahead and talk more about the tree, and I'll continue and the links. Let me find this last guy. Overall, really fun gameplay. It's more about using movement as a defense and Arctic Armor, and you often have to use your potions like much like you're playing a piano. It's rapid, and you're not leeching anything, so you got to reactively hit. And I have arc traps, flame surge traps, and I have Fire Trap. So you notice that the Brolif, the Herald of Thunder, it's like a nice cycle of just domination. Oh, I got a graveyard. Nice. Very, very easy. Very, very new player friendly. And it's kind of like a new way to play Trapper with charges. I've also thought about using Jaws of Agony so that I can maintain power charges easier. But I'll end up getting charge duration nodes, and it'll probably be fine without it. I mean, ideally I want a hybrid shield with high energy shield. I could even opt to use a Wrathpith Globe, but I would like some crit chance. That would be nice. I'm able to scale the gear, you know, with unlimited crit multiplier, crit chance, and not have to pay for it in reflection damage. The only thing that I get reflected on is the Herald of Thunder. Alright, so if we go look at the weapon, in my weapon I have Arctic Armor, doesn't need to be linked, Flammability, and Searing Bond. I don't really use Searing Bond, this is just something that I've had. It's not even on my bar, but I'm leveling it. I chose Divinarius. I bought this for 15 chaos. Really, really nice Trapper weapon. Gets that extra crit, like 130 crit on my Fire Trap, and my Flame Surge and my Arc. We have mana gain on kill, life gain on kill, kind of like a pseudo type leech. Doesn't help when you get really massive amounts, but it's still nice. And then the big ticket part is the 10% increased area, which makes it really, really nice for prolifing and Fire Trap, and no longer use Tendril. Area also scales Flame Surge. Now let's talk about Flame Surge. Flame Surge is tied to Trap, which has a 31% more multiplier. Then we have Fire Penetration. Then we have Conk Effect, which is a 66% more multiplier. And then Flame Surge does that fire damage, and then it has a 50% more multiplier against burning enemies. So as long as something is ignited or is in a ginormous fire trap, you can get a nice single target more multiplier on your Flame Surge. This is what I use for a single target DPS. Now since I don't care that my Flame Surge, where it shoots, it just needs to hit the primary target that it traps on, and it's good to go. I bought Rainbow Strides for 9 chaos. These are like the worst rolled ones, but it does everything that I need it to. It gives me a little bit of spell block, mana, all resistance, and movement speed. You could use rare boots. I was using those for a long time. I bought this belt. It was around 5 chaos. Nothing special, just some life, mana for our energy shield that converts to mana, then fire and lightning resist. Malagaro's Virtuosity, I actually found these pretty early on, and I didn't have to pay anything for it, but they give you a lot of dex, which you need, crit multiplier and crit chance, so ideal gloves. I'm glad that I found them. And then this a hybrid helmet, which is mastercrafted with dex. Guy has life, fire resistance, lightning resistance, and energy shield, also more mana. Let's take a look at the shield. I found the shield in a map. It didn't cost me much. It didn't cost me anything other than to link it, socket it, and color it. But it's a really nice resistance shield. Gives me chaos resist, which is really hard to get. The energy shield is nothing to write home about. I should probably mastercraft this again with a prefix, probably energy shield or mana, either one. And then we have an amulet. Nothing special, just life, resist, stats. This ring is kind of nice. It has lots of mana sources, life, cold res, lightning res, a little bit of mana regen to help me with my Arctic Armor. And then we have another one that's just nothing special, stats, life, and cold damage. As for a chest, I think I bought this chest for 5 chaos, and then I had to socket it, link it myself. And then we have a dual res int. That 257 energy shield gets ramped up into more mana to help me run Arctic Armor. And I recently bought a carcass jack that cost me 20 chaos. This is the one I bought. But yeah, pretty cool buy. They've been dropping down in price each and every day. There's like one at 1. They were like 2.5, 1.5 before, but I waited long enough, so I ended up buying one. I'll probably just try to 6 socket 5 link this and continue running this build. My area will be even bigger and the clear speed will increase. The energy shield is roughly the same after I quality it up, but I'll gain a lot of evasion and I'll gain that radius and the area damage. I'll lose a little bit of life, but I'm okay with it. All around, very good chest was what I recommend with this. You could also go mind over matter if you would like, but I would want a bigger mana pool and better gear so that I have really fast regen and really fast or really high mana pools. For flash choices, you know, just the typical granite, bleed, shock, and double curse. I always run the double curse quicksilvers to have rolling curse immunity, because vulnerability, LE weakness, all that stuff can be really nasty. So that's pretty much it for the build. I've been dabbling a lot with getting ready for low level dueling because I'm quite behind, and I've been kind of slacking on playing this, not because I'm not enjoying the league, it's just like I'm really big PvP fanatic. So I hope you guys don't mind. If you have any questions about the build, oh yeah, also my bandits. I went oak, and then I got the scale point, and then I got the power charge. Now the power charge doesn't seem as useful yet because you need quite a bit of, you know, moving parts to get it to crit consistently. But that's why I do this map. You see the conch effect flame surge traps just annihilate anything that's burning. I'm gonna put Arctic armor to shut down some of these hits. Let's get some power charges and then we'll look at my crit chance. All around, I really like this build. It's definitely, with the addition of Herald of Thunder, you can do some pretty cool things with trapping and power charges. I'm sure the person who actually created Jaws of Agony is really liking it. So my fire trap has a 31% chance to crit, and my flame surge a 37% chance. Flame surge has a local crit chance of 6%. That's why it's different. And the arc would be the same as my fire trap. I hope you guys like this build guide. I'll be sure to link the gear and the tree in the forums, and I'll see you guys later. Have a good one, guys.